Into the Internado de TuTaTa. And we were looking, we had at that time, Agent Gustavo, and he said, you wouldn't be interested in a house, would you? And I thought, well, that'll take care of the trend. Yeah. So we went to see the house and we bought it.
Mm-hmm. How much did you buy it for?
Hmm?
How much did you buy it for?
$15,000 US.
Hmm.
So anyhow, that's how we happened to get the yellow house. And then, as the guys started to go to school, while we were still trying to make money on the ranch, just so everyone would have money, then we found that that money could be used for that, and then we failed at the ranch because of the devaluation of the peso at the time of Lopez Portillo. And at that time there were 10,000 butcher shops in the city of Mexico shut their doors. No one could afford meat.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no price for making money off of cattle, which we also were fairly successful at. So we tried, and then we started to get into the pig thing, tried to get that as a priority. We're still trying to make money to put a financial base under the house. I was thinking at that time that I could retire. 65, I was starting to get close to my 50s. I thought, well, I could retire down there and use this money, run these projects, and that would be our financial base. Well, that didn't work out. Okay. All I'm trying to, with all of that story, is that we tried a variety of ways to put a financial base under whatever it is we were doing, which increasingly shifted and shifted and shifted between doing, they never dreamed of the impossible of getting kids into university. Everyone came to the yellow house to get through secondary or to get through high school. No one came to university. All of this thing evolved and developed and became whatever it became. So still then we're trying to do other things. We tried the pigs. We got robbed by the Institute. We got robbed of the ranch. We tried the English thing. Got done in by our own administrators. Nothing we tried worked. So, we were starting to get successful at the university, this stuff, and we made a proposal to the guys who went to university that when you graduate, if you will agree to get one other kid going through university with the understanding that that kid will get someone through university and this project can go on forever. So that was the idea. And everyone understood that for quite a while. And it never happened for a number of reasons. One is that a lot of the guys that came through began to support their own brothers and sisters. Great. You support someone in the house, you support your brother and sister, but we didn't have the continuity there. And so that we tried, you'll remember the attempt here that we tried with Julio and I forget who else. And there was an account set up and so on. Didn't work.
Mm.
So fortunately, we've kept going, you know, for 20 years after that. And we're still going. But things have changed now that if we would make a list of everyone, of Fernando and with Reyes and Alberto and Elivodio and we would end up with 60, 70 people who are now licenciados and everyone supporting themselves either here or in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unless I win a big court case for someone and the client gives me $1 million, I mean, there are cases I'm involved in that could win big money, 150 million, more than that. And the people say, here's a tip, here's $1 million. We'd set up a trust and we keep on going forever.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can find now to add something we weren't able to say quite so much whenever it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. That who knows how much more work time I got. You know, the bear truck scenario. I have a stroke, I have a heart attack, I die. I mean, people die every day. I'm 85. How many more years have I got not just to live, but to work? Like I'm working full time. I'm earning maybe $150,000 a year. And I don't see any end in sight. I mean, like, I'm not thinking, oh, if I can just do it. I just don't think I could do it for another 6 months. I don't know. I could do it, as far as I'm concerned, I could do it for the next 20 years, as I feel right now. I have no reason to say you won't be doing this in 20 years, except it is not reasonable to say that, but there's nothing that tells me I can't.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, but it is a more, every day that passes is another weight over here that adds up. One of these days, you know. So with that new incentive, and the fact that there are now many more people, back when we were initially talking about this, there were, you know, maybe 20. But now there's 50, 60, 70, I don't know how many. With 70 people, we would need $20 a week from each of them, and the house can go on forever. University, everything. Even bringing people up here to do English would carry on. So there's still that possibility. Again, I don't have any time to, I mean, I can help draw up the list and all that kind of stuff. And, but it might be a topic to when we first discussed it, was before Facebook and so on. And I understand, I don't do Facebook, but I understand there's a lot of Facebook stuff. People are in touch with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and that's great. Joaquin's working in the United States for a big
Mm-hmm.
agricultural company. He got his work permit and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
So anyhow, so to put that down to a practical thing, okay, should we recruit new candidates?
Mm-hmm.
Bring them in the house, but we have to tell them, you know, I'm not going to live forever.
Yeah.
You might get a year of secondary school and there's no more money, you got to go home. Unless there is a commitment of people that that won't happen. If there's a need for money, we'll be there. We are dedicated to keeping the house going.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find the $20 a month to do it. So, my question is, do I say, well, yeah, let's go ahead? Because we're arriving at the time within the next 5 years when there'll be no new guys coming in, the older guys will be gone, the house will be empty, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's maybe problems, there may be this, that, and the other thing, but at least it's still going, and we're getting kids like Jose and Rolando, and beautiful, beautiful kids. So we've got a formula. We're doing something that seems to work and it's right. And it'd be a shame, I think, for it to drop off. You know, I mean, like in the like, what do I care?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Accepting, for one thing, that, you know, when you really get down to it, it would be really disappointing, deeply disappointing to me to find out that all of the work that I've been doing for the last almost 40 years now, like with Abad,
Mm-hmm.
that nobody gives a damn about the guy behind him. You know, that if I all alone, you know,
It's
got that
just
many
the
kids through, and none of those kids want to carry on, that would be, I'd roll over in my grave a couple times, I think.
I guess the yes.
I don't think about that very much. I mean, the thought comes to mind, but I don't go there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to think about that. I'm just thinking things will work out. Go ahead. So I go ahead.
What we need, yes, is the security of the financial, which you already put it. If those 70 professionals can pitch in every month, will it happen? We don't know, because every single one who has graduated, going to university, have their families, they have help a family member, they're not nearby valles, they're in Monterrey, they're in other states. Will they be committed to it? We don't know.
I don't know yet.
So,
But we're not, you know, at one time we were talking, you know, $100 a month or something. Now we're talking $20 if we get everyone in.
Mhm. Well, that's one scenario that is in the air.
Yeah.
The other one is the your clients that owes you money,
Yeah. But
which
I mean, in some ways, that's wishful thinking. I mean, what are the chances? 1 in 100, 1 in 50. I don't know. It's,
well, you can or myself, I can just have an open letter to.
well, I think we should start talking about it. Not doing anything, not, maybe someone will pop up and say, I would really like to push that. I like that idea. I want to push it.
Mhm.
And there could be some movement. I don't know. In the meantime, I'll keep earning money. I'll keep things going.
Mhm.
So that's what I'll do. And we'll see if anyone else wants to do it. And all I'm suggesting is that somehow or another we should float the question and see if it lasts 5 minutes or 5 days or 5 months or, what the degree of interest is.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely do that. I can talk to people in Tampico, with Fernando Reyes, people that are very settled. Um, yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
Okay, so I'll just leave that. I think I will bring in a batch of new kids and we'll see how that goes. By a batch, I mean, 3, 4, 5.